Bahrain, officially the Kingdom of Bahrain in size. It is the third smallest nation in Asia after the Maldives and Singapore. The capital and largest city is Manama. Bahrain is the site of the ancient Dilmun civilization. It has been famed since antiquity for its pearl fisheries, which were considered the best in the world into the 19th century. Bahrain was one of the earliest areas to convert to Islam, during the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad in 628 CE. Following a period of Arab rule, Bahrain was ruled by the Portuguese Empire from 1521 until 1602. Following the conquest by Shah Abbas I of the Safavid dynasty under the Persian Empire. In 1783, the Bani Utbah clan captured Bahrain from Nasser al-Madkur and it has since been ruled by the Al-Khalifa royal family, with Ahmad al-Fateh as Bahrain's first Hakim. In the late 1800s, following successive treaties with the British, Bahrain became a protectorate of the United Kingdom. In 1971, it declared independence. Formerly an emirate, Bahrain was declared an Islamic constitutional monarchy in 2002. In 2011, the country experienced protests inspired by the regional Arab Spring. Bahrain's ruling Al-Khalifa royal family has been criticized for violating the human rights of groups including dissidents, political opposition figures, and its majority Shia Muslim population. Bahrain developed the first post-oil economy in the Persian Gulf, the result of decades of investing in the banking and tourism sectors. Many of the world's largest financial institutions have a presence in the country's capital. It subsequently has a high Human Development Index and is recognized by the World Bank as a high-income economy. Bahrain is a member of the United Nations Non-Aligned Movement, Arab League, Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the Gulf Cooperation Council. Bahrain as the dual form of Arabic Bahar would have been misunderstood and so was unused. It remains disputed which two seas the name Bahrain originally refers to. The term appears 5 times in the Quran, but does not refer to the modern island, originally known to the Arabs as Awal, but, rather, to all of eastern Arabia. Today, Bahrain's two seas are generally taken to be the bay east and west of the island, the seas north and south of the island, or the salt and fresh water present above and below the ground. In addition to wells, there are areas of the sea north of Bahrain where fresh water bubbles up in the middle of the salt water is noted by visitors since antiquity. An alternate theory with regard to Bahrain's toponymy is offered by the Al-Asa region, which suggests that the two seas were the Great Green Ocean and a peaceful lake on the Arabian mainland. Until the late Middle Ages, Bahrain referred to the region of eastern Arabia that included southern Iraq, Kuwait, Al-Hassa, Qatif, and Bahrain. The region stretched from Basra in Iraq to the Strait of Hormuz in Oman. This was Qlim al-Bahrain's Bahrain province. The exact date at which the term Bahrain began to refer solely to the Awal archipelago is unknown. The entire coastal strip of eastern Arabia was known as Bahrain for a millennium. The island and kingdom were also commonly spelled Bahrain into the 1950s. Bahrain was home to Dilmun, an important Bronze Age trade center linking Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley. Bahrain was later ruled by the Assyrians and Babylonians. From the 6th to 3rd century BC, Bahrain was part of the Achaemenid Empire. By about 250 BC, Parthia brought the Persian Gulf under its control and extended its influence as far as Oman. The Parthians established garrisons along the southern coast of the Persian Gulf to control trade routes. During the classical era, Bahrain was referred to by the ancient Greeks as Tylos, the center of pearl trading. When the Greek admiral Nearchus serving under Alexander the Great landed on Bahrain, Nearchus is believed to have been the first of Alexander's commanders to visit the island, and he found a verdant land that was part of a wide trading network. He recorded that on the island of Tylos, situated in the Persian Gulf, are large plantations of cotton trees, from which are manufactured clothes called sindanis, of strongly differing degrees of value, some being costly, others less expensive. The use of these is not confined to India, but extends to Arabia. The Greek historian Theophrastus states that much of Bahrain was covered by these cotton trees and that Bahrain was famous for exporting walking canes engraved with emblems that were customarily carried in Babylon. Alexander had planned to settle Greek colonists in Bahrain, and although it is not clear that this happened on the scale he envisaged, Bahrain became very much part of the Hellenized world. The language of the upper classes was Greek. While Zeus was worshipped in the form of the Arabian sun god Shams, Bahrain even became the site of Greek athletic contests. The Greek historian Strabo believed the Phoenicians originate